you're a Detroit Pistons fan, you should be worried a little bit because this is not Puma, right? This ain't Anta. This is Nike. Nike is the sponsor of the NBA. Nike has its own agenda, right? And I'm pretty sure Cade staying in Detroit ain't part of their agenda if they sense that this is our guard. Remember, he is a guard. Yeah. He is their young guard. Ja was the one. He is their guard. Yeah. And they're going to want to mass produce his shoes and move them units and do that. So you can't be, you want Cade to win championships and all of that and kind of stay there because it offsets everything. Yes. But when they start losing the stuff, come on, Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? The thing is just what I'm saying.
It's facts.
As long as he's winning championships in Detroit and winning at a high level, Nike is cool with him staying there. Okay. When they start having down years, they're gonna move that product to a big company because his name, his shoe will mush. So we already know right now he's on the Olympic team that's going to be in Los Angeles.
Yes, no doubt.
For sure.
100%.
Right? That's Nike's product.
100%.
Right? So it's a good thing and a bad thing. You just got to be weary of it because of the city.
Gilbert Arenas said that Nike is going to want to push our good brother Cade out of Detroit. And then he heard it from a lot of different fans. I think once you kind of think about it, they giving Cade a signature shoe over Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson wasn't wavy enough. Jalen Brunson was in New York. There's no better market to market than New York City. That's a fact. There's no better market to market than New York City. So think about that for a minute. So at the end of the day, the NBA is going towards parity. Even if you say, Tyrese Halliburton was healthy, the East, and let's say Milwaukee kept Drew Holiday, or they got the prime Damian Lillard, right? New York was still, the Eastern Conference would still have parity. It would still have parity. And I think part of the parity thing is injuries. Injuries is part of the parity thing, but then also they finally got parity. It ain't 1, 2, 3 teams. You got parity. The Pacers, the Cavs, I'm just talking about in a hypothetical healthy, and this hypothetical, the Bucks, the Pistons, the Raptors on the right. You just got a lot of parity. In the West, it's a lot of parity. So, but, I think the NBA's pointing towards parity. Gilbert Arenas, he says things, and, people pointing. Giannis still in Milwaukee. Just think about the guys that's in huge markets. You got Luka in LA. What does it mean? If real talk, if your shoe not hot, it don't matter where you at. KD, his shoe's always hot. You heard what he told brother Cade. Said make sure you hands on with your design. Wherever KD at, was it OKC with his shoes, whether it was Golden State, his shoes sold. Kyrie got one of the best. KD and Kyrie has had the best Nike signature line in the last 20-some years. Since 2000. And then take Michael Jordan out of it. If you went to the older retros. 13, 14, 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? I think 18 or 19 was the first that came out after he retired. All right? So, they had some of the best shoe line for Nike. You think about, James Harden got a very underrated shoe line. I got a few pair of James Hardens. Even Kyrie with Edna, shoe line is crazy. James Harden got a hell of a shoe line with Adidas. Anthony Edwards got a hell of a shoe line off the first 2 shoes. And I got a few pair. The first pair, I got a pair of the second pair. And man, oh my God, the second pair look good on your feet. They feel good on your feet. So, he in Minnesota. James Harden was in OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, Philly, the Clippers, and his, that old way of thinking that Gilbert Arenas is thinking is dead. It's dead. And most people don't leave Detroit when they come here. Grant, people put that on a Grant left. Most of these people who live in Detroit that come play in Detroit, they playing roots here. Dominican Sue, Calvin Johnson, they still playing roots here. Isaiah come back and forth. You know, a lot of these guys, they fuck with the city. John Sally met his wife at Legends. Was that right across from, I think it used to be right across the street from Sweetwater. So, you know, people plant I mean, Detroit, like people like Cade asked, like he tried to like diss Detroit by saying, you know, what's the difference between Cleveland and Detroit? It's a big difference. No offense. It's a big difference. I'm not a nightlife person no more, but when, you know, you talking about nightlife, plenty of shit to do in Detroit. You know, from clubs to concerts, you got casinos, especially when you can go back and forth across the Ambassador Bridge and you go to Canada, it was lit. You ain't far from Atlanta, you ain't far from New York. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't far from Chicago. All the amusement parks in Ohio, like I said before, ain't nothing not to do in Detroit. Whatever you want to do, unless you into like amusement parks, and ain't nothing not to do. The fashion is on point, the shopping is on point, the food is immaculate. I mean, you want black businesses, you want white businesses, you want Gucci. I mean, whatever you want, they got it. I ain't per se into it. And what makes Detroit so unique is that it's not a big city. You can be from east to west in 15 minutes if you speed. You know, some of the suburbs are voted some of the best suburbs in the United States. So the suburban life, you know, people go, hey, you know, Detroit is dangerous. And Detroit has its dangerous spots like any other city. But also they have a lot of really good, you know, spots too that they don't speak about. Sherwood Forest, you got, you know, Rosedale Park. I mean, you go on and on. So, you know, how they have a conventional thought, like people love going to Cali and shit. Like, Cali is dope. But then again, it ain't for everybody. You know, you go out to Cali, like 60% of the population, if I'm being nice, is weird fucking those. Devil danger sniffers. You know, most of the women, they for sale. They devil danger sniffers. They cat slangers. You know what I'm saying? Hobosexual hoes and hobosexual bros. Like, come on now. So, like I said before, like, you know, real talk, I've been to a lot of different places, man. From east to west, you know, Canada. For the most part, man, I think I will continue to, you know, unless I get older, I would like plant my roots in Detroit. No real, you know, hurricanes and, you know, fresh water and, you know, there's just some issues with the roads and shit like that. And yeah, but some people like having their seasons. You know, but, you know, Gilbert Arenas trying to push an agenda, you know, or they want to push them out of Detroit, so be it. You know, I think Cade actually liked hooping here. You know, even when they was bad, you know, they was 15th in attendance. So that should tell you something. People come to the game, you go to Miami and shit, man, they had to force people to come to the game to see LeBron play. You know, it ain't like you in the middle of nowhere and it ain't shit to do. That ain't the case. You know, but, you know, then again, so be it. But it's just an agenda being pushed. Like, oh, he's going to get them out of there. And, like, you know, get them arenas. Worry about going to jail. Worry about going to jail. That's the crazy thing. Worry about protecting your asshole when you go to jail, homeboy. You know, he said a bunch of dumb stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, Nike ain't pushing that agenda. Is Converse trying to get Shea out of Oklahoma City? Now, you gotta ask yourself that. But hey, that's all I had to say. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, wherever I'm at in the link tree. It's the first link in the description. Peace.